Hello, T-Gens! Welcome to Degenerate Takes, NFC predictions, results, bets, whatever the hell you want to call it. I, of course, am the Brofect1 AJ, and joining me, as always, is the man with the numbers, the sportsbook whisperer, college basketball guru, daddy of the diamond, something of the gridiron, Mr. Noah Engelbretson. Noah, how the hell you doing today, bud?
Oh, I'm wonderful, AJ. Week's
Hell yeah.
almost over with. Getting ready for a good weekend.
Hell yeah, bro. Love to hear that. You going to any more golf tournaments or anything like that?
No, I'm not going out to Detroit for this one, actually.
No, not going out to Jersey either?
No, not in my
Oh,
plans.
damn. Thought one of us would have, gotten one of those Charles Barkley sized offers, but apparently not. With that being said, though, Noah, it's the most beautiful time of the year. Training camp is all the way back in session. We have some big news coming out of there. We've got crazy shit going on everywhere, but that just means one thing, baby. Football's back. It is
Right
back.
around the corner, baby.
Oh, it is
Right around the
so
corner.
so nice, Noah. I don't know about you, but I'm getting freaking pumped, bro. And I know I'm gonna be completely right on every single one of these teams
Oh
because
yeah,
I've just
always.
gotten to that point, where I've seen the tape that I've needed to see. I have talked to the people I've needed to talk to, and dude, I got the best. It's simple as that, bro.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the fuck. Let's talk about the West, bro. NFC West. Let's start with my Arizona Cardinals, who broke my heart last week, making Kyler Murray the highest paid quarterback in the NFL right now. I mean, besides that, the big story is going to be D Hop not being able to return for 6 weeks due to a PED. He still is able to practice with the team and everything like that during training camp, but just obviously can't be there weeks 1 through 6. So that's going to be a huge blow. And we'll see if Kyler does his independent study for this, Noah, because it's going to be all on him. They're paying him like the guy. It's going to be a lot of pressure. The front half of their schedule is just so jacked up, dude. I think they'll win some games. I think they'll do fine. They'll probably go 3-3 in those first 6 games without D Hop. But I really see this team not doing a lot better than 9-8, bro. Like, I just can't see them if they get into the playoffs, because the NFC West is, I would say, taken down a notch with everything going on. I don't think they're really going to be fighting where. I don't think they're going to be fighting with. I don't think they'll be fighting with. What's it called? The Rams for the top spot there in the NFC. So I'm going 9-8 there, Noah. Just slam the under there for them. How you doing with that?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Obviously, we covered the Cardinals a bit. One thing to be a little nervous about if you're a Cardinals fan, Hollywood Brown with a hamstring injury. They're expecting that he should be good to go by either like the last preseason game or week 1. However, if he does aggravate that and injures it worse, Cardinals could potentially be without Hollywood Brown and D Hop to start the season. And I don't know who the hell they're going to throw the ball to if that's the case. But yeah, not really a slam the under type of situation. The over under is at 9 wins for the Cardinals. So that's one I'm just going to stay off of because I've got them right at 9. Yeah, if you check it out, we do have a video talking deep diving into the Cardinals already. So we won't spend too much extra time on that right now. AJ, I do want to talk about another team in the division here. Mainly because of a little bit of relevancy. Team not expected to do very well, and the Seahawks just signing DK Metcalf to a monster
Whoa, did they?
extension. Yeah, three years, I think 72 million with like
Shit.
58 guaranteed or something on that.
Woo.
So
I mean, he's
yeah,
worth it. He's worth it.
so yeah, there was a lot of talk about whether or not they were going to move him, or if they weren't going to move him, that they should sign him to a contract. And DK did get paid. I don't think that makes any big difference. He's still got, Drew Lock throwing him the ball, so
Or Geno,
or Geno
the
Smith,
first
yeah.
ever
So
fifth tier ranked quarterback in the NFL by the Athletics. I don't know.
not not great options there at
No,
quarterback.
no.
I think DK will still have some like fantasy football value.
Oh, 100%.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, he's now locked up in Seattle for 3 more years, I guess.
I mean, and that doesn't really change my mind with what I have with the Seahawks and everything. They're just not going to be good this year, and it really is just they're in rebuilding. Whether Pete Carroll wants to admit it or not, as long as you have those two quarterbacks of Drew Lock and Geno Smith, who, let's be real, they're going to try whoever fits best that week. I don't think it's going to be this is our starter going into the season. I think they're going to pick and choose their spots, which might work out for the Seahawks. Pete Carroll is a genius for a reason. Like, he's damn good at his job. But that leads me to a conspiracy theory that we'll talk about here in a minute that I like a lot.
Except for when he's on the 1 yard line with the Super Bowl on the line.
Shit. Yeah, that was a bad call. That was a bad play call there.
Yeah. Anyways, Seahawks over under for them 6 wins. 78% of the public on the under there.
Yeah.
AJ, where do you stand on that? How do you see the Seahawks doing this year?
Dude, I don't think they're going to be as bad as everyone thinks they're going to be. I just think their schedule right now is unfair. They have to play a rejacked AFC West throughout the season, throw in a little AFC South in there too. And then, of course, you're going to be beating up with the Cardinals and the Rams all season long. Yeah, I mean, they might squeeze out 7, might go 7-10 if they get lucky, if their quarterback situation improves. We really don't know what Drew Lock and Geno Smith have. This is a new system, a different style of ball. We'll see what the boys can do. Have a little bit of faith, but honestly, like 7, yes, I'm going to go, no, I'm going to go 5. I'm going to go 5-12. I changed my mind.
Yeah, that's about where I am. I've got them going 4-13 this year. I'm liking that under at 6. And yeah, I don't think they're going to be very good. They're not going to get good quarterback play. They do have Lockett and DK, but that's about the only good thing I can say about that offense. I don't think the defense is going to be particularly impressive either. I think it's going to be tough sledding for the Seahawks this year.
Oh, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for the 12s, too, up there. We'll see if that stadium stays as loud as it has been with Russell, manning that ship. But let's move it to Cali, all right? Let's talk about one of the more interesting quarterback situations in the NFL right now. Jimmy G for the 49ers being told that he can go ahead and seek a trade. With, that deadline coming up where he is due that $21 million, the 49ers have a decision to make here. I mean, it's nothing to do with, they've said already Trey's the guy. He's taking 1 snaps. He's, doing everything like a starting quarterback. We'll see how that goes. But Jimmy G, let's be real, if he does end up getting cut by the 49ers, could go to the Seahawks. But before the beginning of the season, which if that happens, and that could be one of the reasons they re-sign DK, or they're like, no, we're just going to tank and get CJ Stroud number 1 overall next season. Obviously, no NFL team would ever tank or pay someone to tank or anything like that.
Yeah, that's never happened before.
No, never happened, never would happen. There's not a lawsuit going on about it right now. But shit, that's a fucked up situation. But yeah, I'm not really expecting much out of the 49ers though this season. I don't think they're rebuilding. I think they're definitely gonna be better than the Seahawks. It's just gonna be all in Trey Lance. They're saying Trey Lance is the guy. From what we saw last season, he wasn't the guy. Obviously, a year under his belt, sitting behind Jimmy G, could improve a lot. We'll see. At the end of the day, you still have Travis Kelce, Deebo Samuels maybe, and solid defense. That's why I'm putting them at I'm going to put them at 7 wins. I'm going to say they're going to go 7-10 and do well. I think they're going to do well. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but it'll be a good step forward for Trey Lance. Noah, where do you sit with this?
I've got them winning a little bit more than that. I think they'll have some success like they have in previous years, not really needing that quarterback play to still be a competitive team. I think Trey Lance is going to win them more games than Jimmy G would have, but I think he's also going to lose them more games at the same time.
Oh, absolutely.
So they're going to be a little bit more variable. I think not quite as consistent as they've been. I think they're going to have higher peaks but lower valleys this season. Their over-under is sitting at 10. 75% of the public on the under there. I've got them going 9-8, matching what the Cardinals do. I think there'll be a game over 500. So
make playoffs or miss playoffs?
It's going to be tight. I could see them squeaking in with a wild card just because of how weak the NFC is through and through. But yeah, I think it's going to come down to tiebreakers between them and the Cardinals, and who's nabbing a wild card spot.
Fair enough, Noah. But let's go ahead and let's talk about the team that I think we both think is going to win the NFC West, and that being the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Los Angeles Rams, with Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford still at the helm, re-signing everyone under the sun. Aaron Donald coming back for an insane amount of money. Cooper Kupp's still there. The boys are still there in Florida and fucking LA. I mean, they had a good time for their Super Bowl parade, minus the Matt Stafford, pushing that woman off and everything. But I'm sorry, she didn't push; she just turned away. But they want to do that again, and the boys are jacked up. They're going to be jacked up. We know how hard it is to repeat, but it's been a long time since I think we've seen a team like that Patriots team that repeated a couple years back and everything, that this team can still go. I mean, they did what the Buccaneers did and brought back all their pieces. Obviously didn't work out with the Bucs with some key injuries and stuff like that. But how do you not have them winning 13 games? How do you not have them going 13-4 and probably having one of the best records in football? Because that's what I got them at.
Yeah, I've got them at a game lower than that. I'm going to go 12-5. I think they win the division no problem by 2 or 3 game margin. However, it's not going to be a cakewalk against the Niners or against the Cardinals. Niners have had the Rams number for the longest time. I think they've won 6 or 8 straight regular season matchups. The Rams did get the better part of the Niners in the NFC Championship game. However, the Niners almost pulled away with that one too. They've given the Rams some trouble. So I like the Rams. I don't think they've gotten any better or worse this offseason. There's been some changes, some movement. A couple pieces are a little bit different, but I like them to go 12-5. Again, win that division.
Yeah, definitely win.
I was going to say over-unders at 10.5. I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, give me that over.
I don't see them winning less than 11 games.
Oh, no shot. Yes, they are. Like, it's a tough schedule, but every schedule is a tough schedule in the NFL. They just have it right now. They got it right now, and they have the chance to really keep building on that. I'm stoked for the Rams, bro. It's going to be a good season to be a Rams fan still. Excuse me, but going from the West to the South, Noah, we've got the NFC South coming up next. Let's start with the Falcons, bro. Let's start with the team. I believe their quarterback is Mariota, right?
Yes.
I mean, Marcus Mariota, he's a guy that's been bouncing around the league for a while and for a reason. He's consistent as a good backup. Hasn't really had a fair shake, in my opinion. It could be his time. I mean, not a lot of weapons besides Kyle Pitts there for the Falcons, with Calvin Ridley being out indefinitely, at least for the season, due to bad gambling parlays and bad parlays, dude. They were bad parlays. I mean, you had the Falcons winning a game. I mean, come on, bro. Regardless, I don't think they're going to do too hot this year. I mean, the NFC, isn't the best, but the teams that they are playing are going to be better than them, obviously. I don't have them doing well. Noah, what do you think about this team? Where you have them sitting?
I've got them at 7-10. I think they're going to be a little bit better than most people are expecting. I don't expect anything crazy out of them, but this could be a really good revival moment for Marcus Mariota for his career. He did not look bad at all the couple times he came in for the Raiders. So yeah, not a whole lot of firepower. I don't expect that defense to be that great, but I still think with having a relatively weak schedule, I think they'll find a way to bust out 6 or 7 wins. Over-under is at 5.5. 55% of the public on the over, 45 on the under. So people really torn on this 5.5 number for the Falcons.
But hey, they like Mariota if that's the case. I'm with you there, Noah. I think they're going to win about 6 games this season. It will be a good bounce back year for Mariota, and I think really solidify him as a potential guy somewhere. Maybe like a travelman like Fitzpatrick was and everything like that.
He's one of the better. I don't think he should be like a long-term starter, and I don't think that's the solution there. I think they want him for a year or two until Desmond Ritter's ready to go.
Yeah.
But I would say, as long as Mariota's in the NFL, he's one of the better backups out there. One of the best
100%.
options that you can have as a backup. I wouldn't want him as my starter, but like I said, I think it's a temporary 1 or 2 year thing for the Falcons.
No, and if I'm a Falcons fan, I'm looking at Seattle right now and saying, "Thank God I got Mariota." That's all. That's all I'm thinking, honestly. But dude, let's move to another. I feel like the NFC is just filled with all of these effed up quarterback situations. Let's move to the Carolina Panthers, bro, and the big what the fuck question mark going on over there. Baker Mayfield signing over there. Obviously, we've covered that trade already. But you still got Sammy D down there. Sammy interception, Sammy turnovers. Sammy can't throw the ball 5 feet. Did I bury him enough there?
No. I mean, I've been burying him for 5 years. So,
again, I think Baker obviously is going to get the starting role. All reports are saying that he is getting the 1 reps and everything like that. It's not going to be much of a competition. Matt Rule's job is on the line here. It's a tough.
His job is already gone. His job's already gone.
Already?
Unless he rips off like an 8 or 9 win season, he's done. He's canned. He could. And he's. You look at the pieces he's got. He's canned from. He's done.
I don't know. He could go 2-0 to start it.
2-0 doesn't mean shit to start the season if you don't finish it.
No, fair enough. I'm not really looking for too much. I think Baker will have a good fantasy year. But that's about it. If you have a, but not a pick him up in your draft. Like he'll hit your waiver wire eventually. Just be the first guy to pick him up if your quarterback gets injured. 4.5, 4 games, 5 games. Like that's where I'm at really. I don't see them doing too hot, bro.
Yeah, they're over-unders at 6, 7. About 76% of the public on the under there, including me. I've got them going 4-13.
Yeah, I'm with you there on the 4-13. No shot. They can't. No shot. They might win against the Browns depending who's starting. They might beat the Giants, but then it gets a lot fucking harder from there. Rough go for the Panthers. Moving on to the New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston, the guy under center there. Who's their new coach?
Oh, right.
Yeah, McVay was going to go to the Dolphins, remember, and then, he retired.
Dennis Allen.
Shout out Dennis Allen. They're the ones manning the ship. Michael Thomas is still a question mark, I believe. Is he back already? He'll be ready to go?
Yeah, everything he's saying on social media is that he'll be ready to go week 1.
Oh, well, good to hear that. Still got Alvin Kamara in the backfield. I mean, it's going to be a solid offense. I don't think it's going to be much different than what we saw last year. Obviously, Michael Thomas.
Oh, it's going to be so much. It's going to be so much different.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas, and then Chris Olave, who they got in the draft, and then adding Jarvis Landry as well. They've got threats. I mean, you take those 3 receivers plus Kamara and what Jameis Winston can do. I think this offense is going to open up a lot.
You're still so high on Jameis Winston, and I honestly can't wrap my head around it, bro. Like. I give up.
He was 5-2 last. The Saints were 5-2 until he hurt his knee last year.
Yeah, can't stay healthy. First it was he can't see the ball, then he can't stay healthy. Like it's just thing after thing with him.
That was like his first time getting injured in his career, and he had like the best passer rating or one of the best like quarterback ratings in the league before he got injured. So, people are disrespecting the Saints so much. I think they might be the most slept on team coming into this season, even more so than the Raiders. People aren't paying enough attention to the Saints. I've got them winning this division. I've got them going 12-5 this season and winning this division. Okay. They're going to have a solid defense still, and this offense is going to be so good.
I will give you the defense. This defense is still going to be probably one of the best in the NFL still. That offense to me is a big question mark. Don't get me wrong. I will not deny the weapons. I am questioning more the play calling and the quarterback play. Um, just remember, you got Ian Book in the wings if shit hits the fan and he can't win a game to save his life or can't see again. I don't think they're gonna do that well. I definitely don't think they're winning the division. I've got them going more like 7-10, maybe 6-10 on a bad week, but 7-10 more my speed. I'm gonna sleep on them still. I'm gonna still sleep, bro.
Ouch. Yeah, their over under is only at 7.5, which I think is grossly disrespectful. 64% of the public on the over. I like the over, and I don't even think it's going to be close. I think by week 12 or 13, they've already hit the over.
Wow, that's aggressive. I love it, though, Noah. That brings us to the last team in the South, that being the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No Gronkowski. Jansen, their center, getting injured in the first day of practice. Not sounding good from it.
Sounds like a season ender.
Yeah, rough on the first day of camp. Hope rehab goes well, bro. Hope it all goes well. They're still, it's still, they just signed Julio Jones. Like, what else do you want me to say? That offense is ridiculous. The defense is going to be a hell of a lot better. Tom fucking Brady is their quarterback, dude. Tom fucking Brady, misses Super Bowl and then wins the next one. Like, I'm taking Tom. Like, dude, they're gonna rattle off 13 wins. They're gonna rattle off 13 wins easy, bro. 13-4. They're wrapping this division up easy.
No shot, and I'll tell you why. Losing Jensen, that's a huge loss for him. No Gronkowski this year.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin's injured. Antonio Brown's gone. Julio Jones, he's so washed, it's not going to matter. So you've got Mike Evans and Mike Evans only. Leonard Fournette's 35 pounds overweight. Leonard Fournette's 30 to 35 pounds overweight. They don't have Rojo anymore. I think their defense is still going to look really good, but this offense is not going to be super efficient. I think they're going to have trouble putting up enough points against good teams. And I still have them going 11-5, or 11-6 rather. But I don't. I think they'll make the playoffs, but I don't think it's going to be by a huge margin. Like, I think it's going to be tight coming down the end of the season. They're obviously going to get a boost when they get Chris Godwin back, but I think they might struggle early out of the gates.
Yeah, I see them doing that typical thing, kind of like they did their first season there with Tom, struggling out of the gates. Leonard Fournette being in that Gronk role, not in shape, but getting there. Shit, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one, but I definitely think they're wrapping that one up easy and nice and everything.
Leonard Fournette, he's not just out of shape. 30 to 35 pounds. That's like Eddie Lacy level showing up.
Not Eddie Lacy bad, bro. That is not as bad as Eddie Lacy.
I want to see pictures of him. I haven't seen any pictures surface, but 30 to 30, he's apparently at 265 pounds reporting, and apparently the coaches and management at the Bucs were pissed at him for it. Because he's like, it's not just he's a couple pounds overweight. Apparently he's fat. It's no more playoff or Super Bowl Lenny. It's just fat Lenny.
Oh, we can't body shame, bro. That's toxic. We can't be doing that already. We're only a year in. We gotta wait until we get a little bit more bitter. But no, yeah, it's bad. Lacy. It's not Eddie Lacy bad. Okay, that was something.
It might be. We haven't seen pictures yet. He could be Eddie Lacy fat.
All right, no. The moment I see a picture on Twitter, I will send it your way immediately.
Good.
And I will send you the side by side, and I promise it will not be that bad. Follow us on Twitter at DGenTakes to see the result of that. But Noah, I think next we got to talk about the dumpster fire that is the NFC East. Where do you want to start with the dumpster fire that is of the NFL, really?
Oh, God, I don't know. Like, the worst thing about this division is I could almost see a scenario where every team somehow wins this division.
Oh, absolutely.
And I could almost see a scenario where almost every team finishes last. I don't say fully because I don't think the Giants have a chance at winning the division, and I don't think the Cowboys have a chance at finishing last. But I could see Philly and Washington anywhere from 1 to 4 or in this division.
Yeah.
Maybe not 4 for Philly, but I could see the Giants anywhere from second to fourth, and then I could see the Cowboys anywhere from first to third. So this division's just a crapshoot. It always is. It seems like every year.
Oh, every year.
And yeah, I don't know. Let's start with the bottom feeder, which is the Giants, not by a huge margin, but
New York Football Giants. Noah, what do you think about them?
I mean, they suck. What else? What else do you want me to say? I don't know that they particularly got any better this offseason.
No.
I think they are going to, unlike their other New York counterpart, who I think is making strides forward, I think the Giants are staying kaput with just bad football.
Oh, yeah.
They do play in the NFC East, though, so I've got them winning 5 games.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame you there. They still got Saquon. He's got to be looking to get out. If his agent doesn't demand a trade soon, I mean, his career is going to be done.
What value does he have?
I mean,
he can't stay healthy.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to be
He's injured
big
every
issue.
year.
And then Daniel Dimes, Daniel interceptions, Danny
this
fucking
is his last
sucks
season.
Is done. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's going to bounce around maybe as a backup, but I mean, seeing how he's been playing, I don't know if anyone would want him as a serviceable backup.
I'd still take him as backup. I mean, most teams would.
Man, and that's a rough, and it's a shame. You know what I mean? It's almost a shame. I mean, it's in New York City. Both teams are just absolute awful. I mean, one of them has a future MVP in Zach Wilson, but you know, besides that, like New York's got nothing when it comes to football, and it's going to be much more of the same. I'm with you with the 5-12. I can even see them going as low as only winning 2 games. Honest to God.
I mean, yeah, and the funny thing is their over-under's at 7.
That's stupid.
And this is the biggest discrepancy of where the public is, from what I can tell. 88% on the under there, under 7 games. I think that's about a lock. Giants have lost more football games than any team in the NFL since Eli Manning retired, and I don't see that changing this year.
No, not changing whatsoever. They are going to be bad for a long time to come. Let's move to a team that has, I think, probably the shiniest turd of the bunch, honest to God, and that being the Philadelphia Eagles. I like Jalen Hurts. I like him a lot. I like what this team is doing. And they're in a bad division. I do think, if anything, they're going to be the biggest shock. I think there's a lot of pressure on Jalen to perform, a lot of pressure on management to perform. But, bro, Jalen's got it in him. He might have that doofus Sirianni calling plays in his ear, but, I mean, Jalen's a guy. Jalen is a guy. I think they're going to win 7 games? Go 7-10?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are overvaluing the Eagles because of making the playoffs last year, and you know they had some bright spots. However, I kind of view it as, you know, people are just throwing makeup on the pig. If you look at their roster on paper, it's not that great.
Wasn't great last year either.
They will have one of the best offensive lines in football. I think they're going to probably lead the NFL in rushing yards per game as a team. Miles Sanders, I'm very high on him for fantasy stock. He had a good season last year, but the 0 touchdowns kind of hurt his fantasy value a little bit. I think you'll be able to get him lower than you should. I don't see a scenario where he gets 0 touchdowns again this year.
Oh, no.
And he should be the big workhorse. So I think they'll still win some games. I've actually got them going 10-7.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, over/under sitting at 9, which I think is pretty fair for this Eagles team. They've just got some holes, and they're very young. So I don't see them. I think their ceiling is making it into the playoffs with a wild card.
Yeah, definitely wild card. I don't think they're. No, I think they're winning the division. Actually,
they could.
Oh, and Noah died on me. Oh, Noah's gone. Noah's back?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Oh, Noah's back. No worries. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm excited to see what Sirianni does with Jalen Hurts this year and see what the boys can do and everything, and how good that O-line really will be, and see Jalen run around, be a little Madden player. It'll be fucking awesome. Now, I know we're talking about this, division being trash and everything like that, but now we have to go to an organization that is literally being investigated by the U.S. government. Was subpoenaed to be there and then didn't show up and was almost held in contempt in their owner, not owner, Dan Snyder, whatever's going on with that, corporate structure and everything. Their stadium is literally falling apart at the seams.
It's not even that old of a stadium, which
No,
is the crazy thing.
it's just shitty built, cheaply built. Everything to describe the commies and what they're doing. There was a picture of all the fans at training camp. No, I don't know if you saw it floating around
All
Twitter, but
12 of them.
yeah, if you could count that many. I think I counted like 8, honest to God. It was fucking sad. So the fans aren't stoked on them. The fans don't think they're going to do well. I don't think they're going to do well. I think they're going to start their season off with a fat loss to Jacksonville week 1. They're winning 4 games if they get lucky. They're winning 4 games if they get lucky. They're going 4-13, probably 3 and 14 is more realistic, but whatever their total is, it's going under. What are you thinking, bud?
Over unders at 7.5. I've got him right at 7-10. If you play in this division in 6 of your games every year are against the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Commies, or the Giants, you're going to pick up some wins.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know what happened with their defense last year. That was supposed to be I think they were ranked number 2 coming into the season, and they did not play very good defense. They started figuring it out a little bit late. I expect their defense to be better this year. I don't expect a whole lot out of their offense. Carson Wentz is not the guy.
No.
I think they ride a much improved defense from last year, playing a lot like 2 years ago, to about 7 wins.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I could see it. Yeah. They could get lucky. They do get to play the Cowboys a bunch. Which, hey, that's called a segue. Let's talk about the Jerry World Dallas Cowboys. It's the Cowboys. What needs to be said about them has been said. Is Dak the guy? Can Zeke handle the load? Can Zeke stay healthy? Is CeeDee Lamb really that guy at wide receiver? Is the defense going to be able to hold up? No, it's the same questions we've had about the Cowboys for the last 5 years. Dude, I don't care. They're going to win 8 games, 9 games probably, and squeak into the playoffs maybe.
Yeah, I've got them winning the division. I think.
Shit.
Talk about the Cowboys. I don't think they're going to be anything spectacular, but I do still think they are king of the shitters. They're, I think they're the least shitty team in this division. I think with Zeke, I think we're going to see as the season progresses, he might lose that starting running back role to Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard was a stud last season.
Yeah, and Dak is good. Okay,
Dak is so good.
I'm not going to put him as the top tier of quarterbacks, but I think it's a fair valuation of him to put him right inside the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, just barely.
Yeah.
Top 15 for sure. So he's better than at least half of the starting quarterbacks in the league. And I got the Cowboys at 11-6. I think they'll find a way to rattle off 11 wins, win the division, probably lose at home in the first round of the playoffs because that's what they like to do.
Hey, they're damn good at it too. Cowboys. They're the Cowboys. What do you expect at this point? Now, Noah, let's talk about a division that I think is just a question mark. And I think that's the most fair and honest way to put the NFC North, as just a big question mark. Because, and a question mark in the sense that we all know who's going to win the division. You know what I mean? Let's not pit-patter around it, and we'll talk about them last probably. But let's talk about a team let's get into it. The first team I want to talk about is the Vikings. Colin Cowherd picks them to win the division. He is off his fucking rocker, obviously.
Not just to win the division. Colin Cowherd picked them to go 13-4, which is the best record that he picked out of any team in the NFL.
He's a dipshit. He's a big dumb dipshit, dude. I mean, how do you do that? Especially with their opening game at the Packers. Are you telling me? I'm sorry, against the Packers, you're telling me Aaron Rodgers isn't going to go in there and start owning the Vikings and probably make them start like calling them daddies too? Like, it's going to be ridiculous, bro. But with that being said, what do you think about the Vikings and how many games are they going to win, bro?
They're still going to be in a lot of games. I mean, if you remember last year, all but like 2 of their games were one-score games that came down to like the last drive in the fourth quarter. So it was all about whether they had the ball or not, or whether or not they made or missed a game or winning or tying field goal. I think they got a little worse in the offseason. Their over-unders at 9. I'm all over the under, as is 75% of the public. I've got them going 7-10. I think there's still some good pieces on that roster, but overall, it's nothing to brag about. It's nothing impressive.
No, nothing at all. Kirk Cousins is fine. I mean, he's a decent quarterback, but like you were saying, the Vikings are purple for a reason. They love to choke. It's simple as that. 5 games, maybe. Like, I really don't have that much faith in them. 5-12 probably. I think they're definitely going to be third in the division. I don't think they'll be last, but they'll be third at least. Easy. But no, then let's talk about let's get the depressing team out of the way. Okay. Let's just get it out of the way. I know you've been chomping at the bits. Let's get it out of the way, all right? After years and years of the Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy torture that Bears fans had to sit through, we now enter a new era with a head coach and a GM who didn't draft this quarterback, traded away our only decent wide receiver and defensive player. No, don't make me talk about it, dude.
Hey, baby,
they're gonna suck. They're gonna be so bad.
Yeah, I think the Bears are going to start the Poles and Eberflus era with the worst record in football. Their over-under somehow is at 6.5. 76% of the public on the under there, as am I. I have the Bears finishing with the worst record in the NFL at a whopping 2-15 mark.
Wow. Because what? They're good for 1 win against the Lions at least. And
usually I always say they're good for 1 loss against the Lions, but now I think it's flipped. The Lions might beat them twice. I mean,
no, absolutely.
The Bears are going to be brutally bad.
Oh, they're going to be so bad, bro. They're going to be so bad. I'm with you. Like 3 games, if that, if we're lucky. I mean, and it'll come down to the team.
Well, just slam the under, AJ, and then you don't have to worry about it because then you can be like kind of happy when they lose because you're making money.
Yeah, no, that's a really effed up way to go through football season. Sounds like hell. Fuck, that'd be depressing as hell. Sweet, the Bears lost again. I'm gonna cash my minus. I mean, those odds can't be good either. It's got to be like minus 230 by now. I mean, shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then I can't even be happy about that.
Yeah, you can.
I guess it's money in my pocket. But, no, I want to talk about, I think, the sleeper of the NFL. I want to talk about the absolute dogs up in Detroit. The Detroit Lions, man. With Dan Campbell at the helm. Jared Goff still there somehow. I mean, dude, another year in the system. Dan Campbell is a leader of men. He is one of the best talkers I've heard. He gets me fired up whenever I hear his press conferences, bro. I'm ready to run through a wall for the guy. Bro, they're going to win 10 games and go to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not that high on them. Their over-unders at 6. 71% of the public on the under. I like the over. I originally had the Lions at 6-11, AJ. But then I did this fun little thing called checking their schedule.
Okay.
And oh my God, let me so their schedule: home against the Eagles, home against the Commies, at at the Vikings, home against the Seahawks, at the Patriots, at the Cowboys, home against the Dolphins, home against the Packers, at the Bears, at the Giants, home against the Bills, but then they have a home game against the Jaguars, home against the Vikings, at the Jets, at the Panthers, home against the Bears, and then at the Packers to round out the schedule. So I was originally at 6. I looked at their schedule. I think they can win 8 or 9 games this season with just how garbage that schedule is.
Oh, it's so bad. That's an easy schedule
literally,
I've seen.
They're literally playing all the bottom feeders of the league. So
yeah. So shout out to the Lions. Strike now, because this is going to be your time to strike. The schedule makers gave you a gift. Don't spit in their face. But Noah, the moment you've been waiting for. Let's talk about him. Let's do it. Aaron Rodgers showing up to camp looking like a freak, looking like Nick Cage out of a movie. You're without Devontae, but who cares? You still got Lazard. You still got A.J. Dillon. You still got your backfield. You still got your awesome defense. Bakhtiari's coming back. I mean, Noah, how does it feel to be a fan of a competent organization? Because I have no idea what that's like.
Oh, it's great. I love it. And with how bad the rest of the division is too, it's like I don't even obviously I'm going to watch the games and cheer for them. I want them to do as best they can, but it's nice to just put on cruise control for the whole regular season and not have to worry about anything, because Packers don't have a particularly tough schedule either. No. I look at it and there's only 4 or 5 games I think they're even in jeopardy of possibly losing, which is the crazy thing. Obviously, the offense might not be quite the same without Devontae. However, from what I've heard from the first 2 days of training camp, I might need to jump on Romeo Doubs, the 4th-round wide receiver draft pick from the Packers, to win Offensive Rookie of the Year at 100 to 1. 100 to 1 odds.
100 to 1. Holy shit. What's his name again?
Romeo Doubs.
Okay.
And the Packers, obviously you've got the Vikings, Bears, and Lions twice each. Week 3 playing at the Bucs, which like I said, I think Tampa Bay is going to get off to a slow start. I think the Packers win that one. And they got the Patriots and the Giants and the Jets at home all in a row before playing at Washington. They do have a game at Buffalo in late October, but then they have a stretch where they go Lions, Cowboys, Titans, Eagles, Bears, play the Rams at home, which I'm not worried about because the Packers have had the Rams number like nobody else. I think the Packers have won however many straight meetings, 4, 5, 6 straight meetings against the Rams. And then Dolphins, Vikings, Lions to round it out. So I don't know about you, AJ. Another week schedule for an NFC North team. I've got the Packers going. I wanted to say 14-3, but I'm going to go 13-4 because I think the same exact thing as last year is going to happen. The Packers are going to be resting starters week 18. The Lions are going to pull out a win, which might be the win they need to get a wild card spot and make the playoffs, because the Packers are going to have a game or 2 lead on everybody else in the NFC and are going to be able to sit their starters again.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. 13-4, 12-5, somewhere around there. It'll be some goofy shit for why they lose, or Aaron just having an off day. But the biggest question mark is when he gets back in the playoffs, is he just going to wait till the second round to choke, or is he going to wait until – is he just going to do it in the first round and just get it out of the way again, or what's going to happen there? Because let's be real, at this point, the history with it is Aaron can't close it, bro. He's a great regular season quarterback. No.
The thing is,
what? It's true.
Aaron, he's only had poor performances in like 2 of the games where the Packers have gotten eliminated from the playoffs. He's gotten fucked by terrible defense or terrible special teams. I think he's gotten 2 NFC Championship games that were lost were because of special teams, and 2 were because of terrible, piss poor defensive play. The Packers paying Rich Bisaccia a bunch of money to come fix the special teams. Hopefully that works out. And then the defense is going to be a top 5, if not maybe the best defense in the league this year. So those are shored up. The offense won't need to do as much to win games. And I honestly think the offense might be just as efficient, if not more efficient, because the flip side of Devontae Adams leaving is 70% of the pass plays were strictly designed to go to Devontae Adams.
True.
And now if you've got Aaron actually going through his first, second, third, fourth read, there's going to be more guys open. And, obviously receiver is a question mark. But if even some of these guys pan out how they, should, Packers are still going to be damn good on offense. Plus, don't forget about the fact they have a great offensive line, and they've got Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon back there. And
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Jones is like receiver number 2 or 3, like option on most plays just out of the backfield. I expect to see 2 running back sets a lot. And and this is something that I haven't done in previous years, AJ, but I am predicting the Packers to win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
And that is not a homer pick, because as you know, I have not picked them to win the Super Bowl. I was on the Rams last year. I think it was on the Chiefs or somebody the year before. So it's not like I'm just going out here saying the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl every year. But this year, this is the year it gets done. The world will be shocked because people aren't expecting it to happen. Everyone's freaking out too much about Devontae being gone, but the defense is going to carry the Packers to the Super Bowl this year.
All right. We'll see. Noah, that's all of the teams in every division for the NFC. Noah, do you have anything else to say about the NFC and just football in general?
Yeah, obviously with all my record picks on here, you can tell I've got a lot more variation in the NFC. I see a lot more teams having better records and a lot more teams with really shitty records than the AFC. There's just a lot of damn good teams in the AFC. The NFC's got about 3 of them. So I expect it to be a lot less interesting in the NFC side of things than the AFC this year.
I agree. It's going to be a dogfight for the top. I think the Rams and the Packers are really it's going to be those two. It's going to be those two fighting it out all season for really, I think, who gets the top there. And, of course, the Bucs will fuck around and win the Super Bowl this year. With that being said, though, if you like the show, like, share, subscribe right down below. Go ahead and do it. Help us fight that YouTube algorithm. And, by the way, guess what? We got merch. That's right. Check it out in the comments. The description. I keep saying the effing comments, Noah, every single time. It's the description. It's not in the comments. It's in the description. We got the link for that there. Follow us on the Twitter, the show at DGenTakes, myself at Brofect1, that guy at Engel Money Train or _Engelbretson. But Money Train is where you're going to get the best picks on the Twitter, honestly. I mean, I follow a bunch of handicappers, Noah, and you're probably one of the more consistent guys on there.
Yeah, try, man.
Hey, keep doing what you're doing. Let's keep making money. But with that being said, I've been the Brofect1. That's been the Money Train, and we'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.